This is an astrology forecast, a weekly forecast for July the 25th, 2010. I'm Naomi Bennett, and my website is learnastrologynow.com. This should be an eventful week. We are recording this on the 19th, a week ahead of time. I will add comments to this at the beginning or in the middle of this video for a break, but we're anticipating this to be one of the most eventful weeks of the year with the most stress. It starts out with a full moon, so usually people are more erratic during that time, and it doesn't get better during that time. Instead, the stress builds up because Mars is coming in aspect to 3 other planets, and we usually have major events during that time. I anticipate there'll be more heat waves through the northern hemisphere since it's the summer months, and generally that impacts the ill, the infirmed, the elderly. So many times they're under enough stress that there can be more deaths than usual because of that. But I'm also thinking that the stock market is going to start degrading and falling at that point, to the point that by Thursday or Friday we're going to have another crash, something like we had in October of 2008. So I advised you the prior week, the week of the 18th, to try and go into low-risk positions, because I think it's going to be a critical weekend because of those aspects. I'll break now to show you the chart, and then we'll continue at this point. This is the chart for July the 25th, 2010. So first look over to the left and you'll see the words Mars and Saturn. And Saturn in particular represents the establishment, the old, corporations, government, and holding on to the past. Mars is about impulsivity, a demand that you have it your way, and it brings in extra energy into an event. Then look over to the right and you see Jupiter and Uranus together. Uranus is always about change, technology, innovation, and unexpected surprises. Jupiter can be about abundance or excessiveness. In this point I would say excessiveness with impulsivity, but when you put the opposition of the Mars and Saturn, then you have a much more explosive pattern. Mars and Saturn can certainly represent additional heat waves this summer, but this is more about unexpected surprises, resistances, for example, the stalemate in Congress, where nothing can be done because the establishment is resisting change. Then look down to the bottom and we have Pluto. So there's 90-degree angles to this opposition, and Pluto in this position usually represents the debt, a slow change, and great resistance. It can represent wars, and it can represent conscious conflict, like organized war, for example, like we have in Iraq and Afghanistan. So we're likely to see some very strong events happening during this time. Now the whole week starts off that we have a full moon on the 25th, and usually there's more erratic behavior under a full moon, and then it grows intensity because if you notice Mars is 3 degrees away from Saturn. So as it approaches the exactness of Saturn, we're most likely to have the height or the apex of this period of time, which comes on Friday the 30th and Saturday the 31st. But that's not all, because Mars has yet to go down to the 3-degree point and hit Pluto. So this is the first week of intensity, of which major events are likely to occur abruptly, explosively, shockingly, and then we're going to have the aftermath of that, which would be the week of August the 1st, so be sure and listen to that recording also. There are so many ways of which this can manifest itself. One is that we have an explosive event that puts us into another crisis and possibly incites another war. We could see more violence during that time, or it could be that the BP incident, the oil spill, does not solve itself, that they have a step backwards, that the technology doesn't work and we're back into chaos again. But I suspect it's going to be something deeper, something that's going to involve the debt around the world and the fact that we are no longer being able to hold our house of cards together. So at this point, we'll wait for more events by week to add on to this video, and be sure and listen to next week's video of August 1st, because this isn't the end of the worst of the period. We still have a major week next week, so it's worth listening for the next week too. When I look at additional charts besides just the global aspects, I looked at Obama's chart in correspondence to this week, and it looks like he's going to have some very disappointing times with the people he's associated with. There could be problems with someone on his staff. The Federal Reserve is very definitely indicated in this, so that if we're having a monetary crisis or a debt crisis, they are definitely going to be involved. The New York Stock Exchange is under stress during this period time. And I've always felt that they had a quality of illusion of hiding facts from the public that may come out in public. In fact, that's why I think we're very likely to have some more flash crashes that are going to take our breath away. And then the U.S. chart is strongly affected during this time, specifically the 8th house for the U.S. chart, which represents our debt to others, of which China is the biggest holder of our debt. And then Venus, which is related to our monetary policy and our currency. And then Jupiter, which usually has to do with how free and abundant we are with all those things. So these aspects definitely hit that chart too. So we're likely to see all three of those charts, the market, our currency, problems with the Federal Reserve, are all going to be coming into play during this.